Hey everybody, how's it going? Chuck here. Today's recipe, a no-brainer, no flour chocolate cake. Why is it a no-brainer? Well, just because it's so daggone simple to make. Basically, you got some chocolate chips, 10 ounces of it to be exact, buy a 12-ounce bag, and pour it all but just a little bit out of the bottom of it, and you got about 10 ounces, close enough. And the last 2 ounces, well, just eat them. Then you can have a 1 3/4 sticks of butter, 5 large eggs, and a cup of sugar. Obviously, no flour. It's going to be very gluten friendly, meaning no gluten at all. So if you got any kind of gluten allergies, this probably would be a great recipe for you if you got a sweet tooth for some chocolate. So basically, it's all going into that 9-inch springform pan right there, and I'm going to show you how to prep the pan because it's a little something special. So let me get all this jazz out of the way, and we'll get the pan prepped up, and I'll show you how to prep it. Be right back with you. All right, I'm back. Okay, here's what you didn't see. What you see here is this cocoa powder. I mean, using right there. That's what I used. Took butter, smeared it all over the side of the pan and everything. Coated it really good and heavy. Took the cocoa powder, put it in there, shook it up real good. Took my finger, kind of went around the edges. So using flour for a non-sticking agent, so to speak, I used cocoa powder. Why? It's a chocolate cake, so it just kind of fits naturally. So now I'm sure you're curious as to why I've got aluminum foil laid out here. Well, this is where I say the only tricky part to the no-brainer is that this is going to be submerged in water. I've got another big skillet that I'm going to set this down inside of. It's going to be submerged up to water to about here. Now, this is the white aluminum foil. This is wax paper. Yes, I realize it's not aluminum foil, but just a point I want to prove. A lot of people go cheap on aluminum foil. I mean, it's something that most people are going to try. You're going to use it once, trash it, whatever. Your cheap regular aluminum foil is about the same width as this right here. And mind you, this is going to be underwater, about yay deep, probably about 3/4. It's going to be about 3/4 of the way deep, something like this. Now you got to look. You put this here, that will not wrap up that high. I mean, it just won't go up high enough. So that's why you got to have the wide aluminum foil. This wax paper is the same width as cheap, narrow width. Like I just demonstrated, not wide enough. For people, it's not that much more expensive to buy good aluminum foil. Don't need this no more. That's demonstration purposes. Now we're going to take this pan, wrap it up like this. If you don't want it inside of that, so all you want to do is take and wrap it around like this. Basically what you're doing, you're waterproofing it. Because, I mean, my springform pans, I'm sure there may be some out there. My springform pans are not waterproof. If this is going to be submerged in water, I don't need water inside with the cake mix. So basically all we're doing is going around the outside of the pan. Roll it back enough that it's not inside the pan. You just go around it, mash it in good to the sides so it's getting good contact. There you go. And that's how we got to prep the pan. Now on to making the cake batter. So I'll be back with you just a moment. I'm going to get all that set up for you. And here we have the chocolate chips and 1 full stick and a 3/4 stick of butter. So what I'm going to do now is throw this in the microwave about 10-15 second intervals until everything's melted smooth. So the next time you see this, it'll be melted smooth. See you in a moment. Ta-da! Looky! It's all melted. That was quick, wasn't it? Not really. 15-second intervals in the microwave. End up taking about 45 seconds roughly, and then the chips and the butter just kind of flowed. Stirred it up real good with a fork, and well, there you go. It's a nice smooth chocolate mix. Now, something I like to point out: if you're doing cakes, ice creams, pies, it's okay to use chocolate chips. Not that big a deal. Now, if you're making candies where you want to do a outer shell of chocolate, or just some kind of fancy decorations using chocolate, you don't want to use chocolate chips, because you got to do what you call tempering the chocolate. If you take a good piece of chocolate, fresh, straight out of the pack, that's true chocolate. That's at least say 70 to 90% cocoa. If you snap it, it's got a good sharp snap to it. Cheap chocolate has got like a dull breakage to it, dull snap. It doesn't really snap, it just kind of like a dull, crumbly break to it, because it has all the milk fats, all the other vanillas, and all the additives that's put into the chocolate that really weakens or takes away from the solids of what the chocolate really is. Now, the whole tempering of chocolates, that's another story, another video all on its own, because it's kind of really involved to do it right. But long story short, if you're doing pies, cakes, ice creams, it's okay to use chips. Candies, outer shells, fancy decorations, shavings, whatever, do not use chips. So, like I said, that'll be a different video, a different day, and I'll show you the differences and why. So, anyway, next step, I'm going to mix up the other part, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, here we have the sugars and the eggs. Well, actually, I've got 2 more eggs to go, but just wanted to show you real quick. And that's the 4th egg. And there's the 5th. Now, at this point, I'm going to take the wire whisk, and I'm going to beat this stuff up. I've got to rinse the egg off my hand. Take the wire whisk and get all that mixed in good. Then I'm going to take the chocolate mix, the chocolate we just created just a moment ago, and start mixing that in. So, at the risk of keeping this from being boring, I am going to shut the video off and stir this up, and you will see the aftermath here in just a moment. And there you see the sugar and the cackleberries all mixed in. Like I said, I just kept on taking the whisk, like the show here, and I'd bust up the yolks and just keep working with it. It's all mixed in. Now we're going to put the chocolate mix in. Stay. That chocolate's good. Now, as you're pouring the chocolate in, you need to pour and stir at the same time to make sure everything blends in correctly. Okay, you kind of let that ride. That'll stay. Let me get my spatula, scoop this out. Silicone spatulas, they rock. Go. Don't sell for anything less. And they're not expensive. Whenever you start flipping your eggs and stuff in your Teflon coated pans, do not use those metal ones. Get you a silicone one, use it. Save the Teflon on your pans. They're too expensive to be using metal on it to scratch them all up, and next thing you know, you're fussing and cussing because everything's starting to stick. Okay, so I'm about ready to pour this into the pan. Don't need this at the moment. Pour this into the pan. It's kind of funny. Growing up as a kid, my dad worked on cars a lot. I got uncles who worked on cars a lot and such. And my best friend Wayne worked on cars. I'd be out there in the middle of them working, just cranking wrenches with the best of them. But at the same time, I don't know. I enjoyed cooking also as a kid. So I didn't mind getting in the kitchen, helping my mom or helping my grandmother. I mean, I'm 43 years old. And I'll still jump in the kitchen with my grandmother helping her. So there we go. Alright, tell you what, I'm going to kill the camera for a moment. I'm going to prep something else up, and I'm going to show you something here in just a moment. So I'll be right back with you. Alright, about this time, y'all, the video's back on. Y'all are thinking, what in the heck is he done now? Alright, you see me pour the mixture into the springform pan. I wrapped aluminum foil around the top up to seal all the moistures inside the springform. You seen earlier in the video where I wrapped the bottom up for bottom up to waterproof it. Well, what I have here, I got water in this big frying pan right here. Water right here. You can see that the springform is about floating actually. It's about halfway up on the side of the springform. That's going to make the egg mixture and the chocolate as it bakes. The oven is now preheated for 350 degrees. It's going to go in the oven for an hour and 15 minutes. The water being surrounding like that will allow the egg and everything in it to cook as evenly as possible. And it also provides moisture inside the oven as it bakes to keep from the egg cracking and all that kind of crazy stuff. So, with that being said, well, the only thing I got left to do now, I'm going to drop this stuff in the oven for an hour and 15 minutes. So, I'll turn the camera back on then. See you guys in a bit. Looky everyone, cake's out of the oven. Alright, now what we're going to do is get this over to the towel. And that's actually a fun little trick, because everything about that is hot. So what you want to do, get a wide flat spatula here, get really deep under it, rag, hold the handle because the handle is hot. And when you get it up to the point where you can support it, pick it up, bring it over to a towel, and sit down on the countertop and just let it ride. Okay, there's nothing else here I can do except let it cool, and so there's no need of boring you to death with that. See you when it cools. Ta-da! There it is, all unwrapped. Ain't exactly the prettiest cake in the world, is it? It's like the surface of the moon, except a lot darker. Got a bunch of craters in it. That's the egg mixture when it's boiling and such. It's been out of the oven now for about 5 minutes or so, and still the process of cooling. I just want to get it all unwrapped so it'll cool faster like it should. When it cools, pop the springform loose. It probably can be now. You can see the separation already starting around it as it cools. I've got some peanut butter sauce, so I'm going to slice me off a piece of it, and I'm going to take that sauce and lay on it and try it out. I'll let you know what it's like. Hang tight. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there it is in its beautiful majesty. We have a little slice here. Peanut butter sauce, with peanut butter sauce doing the drizzle. A little white chocolate dusting. But, I mean, you can do all that all you want to. But what really matters is, what does it taste like? Spoons. See, nice, soft consistency. Very, very good. Very good. Because it's got so much egg in it, and the chocolate, it's got a very soft consistency. kind of like a heavy mousse almost. But hey, I told you how to make it. Now it's up to you. Your turn. Make you some. Alright everybody, give me a thumbs up if you like it. Take and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. Y'all have a great day. See y'all. Peace.